Projection has been perfected in this clip I'm getting ready to show you. Michele Bachmann, a former Minnesota congresswoman, a Christian nationalist, just someone who called the insurrection against the United States of America a happy family reunion.
It was like a prayer meeting on January 6th in D.C. People were preaching the gospel on the streets. It was like a family reunion, the happiest people you would ever see. There was no discontent on the Capitol Hill that day.
Is now, again, perfecting projection by saying that it's the Democrats who have a lust for power. It's the Democrats who are going to bring retribution against us because they don't like us very much. Is she kidding? Donald Trump has enemies lists. He appointed someone to be the director of the Federal Bureau of Investigation who had listed enemies in need of retribution in a book. Donald Trump is now firing individuals who have different political ideologies than him. He is gutting the federal government. He is trying to shut down law firms. He is suing media outlets for their coverage. He's going after people who disagree with his particular political ideologies and jettisoning them from the country without due process. This is all in service to retribution. Yet she wants to play the victim, the martyr, the classic Christian nationalist narrative. Well, they are being oppressed because they can't oppress in grand fashion. Watch Michele Bachmann. Embrace yourself. It is nutty as something that's very, 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 very nutty.
They want to undermine our choice. We made our choices as to who we wanted to serve us and be in public office. So these Democrats who are like wild people right now, they want to undermine our choices. They aren't focused on solving problems. They aren't solving on making our lives better or bringing down costs. What do they want? They want power. So these are the last people we should ever give power to because they want power for power's sake. You just had Representative Jamie Raskin,
yes,
a male member of Congress, who said when they get back in power, they're going to bring retribution against us because they don't like us very much. This is a dictatorship mentality. That's why we need to pray.
This is detachment from reality. They want to undermine our choice. We made our choices as who we wanted to serve us and be in public office. Who's trying to undermine your choice? Michele? By the way, it's one L, two N's. Michele with one L, Bachmann with two N's on the end there. Who is trying to undermine your choice? Who? Who's trying to overturn the election? Who's trying to overthrow the United States government in service to that objective of overturning the free and fair election that we just witnessed that went the wrong way, as far as I'm concerned. But Donald Trump was democratically elected. There were no riots. There were no insurrections. There were no attacks on democracy. People are protesting, as is their constitutionally protected right under the First Amendment of the Constitution. You should know about that being I guess you're a tax lawyer. Maybe you don't understand constitutional law. Maybe you haven't read the Constitution in a little while, Michele. But it is rich for her to say, this is a dictatorship mentality that Democrats have. Democrats who can criticize our own leaders. Joe Biden, who dropped out of the race because of criticism from the Democrats. It's a dictatorship mentality? Tell me more about that, dum-dum. This is why we need to pray. How is that helping you? Jamie Raskin, a male member of Congress. Is that a dig on Jamie being kind of a unisex name like Jesse? Jesse, a male YouTube commentator. This is demented. This is, again, detachment from reality. These conservatives are trying to rewrite history, or at the very least, give their audiences justification to believe an alternate reality of things that aren't happening. Of all people with a dictatorial attitude about governance, it's not Jamie Raskin, sister. I can tell you that right now. He's not even an authoritarian light. An actual constitutional scholar, a professor of the Constitution, Jamie Raskin, a noble, good and decent man who represents a congressional district just northeast of where I am right now, on the border of Washington, D.C. While you're defending the actual fascist, the actual election denier, the actual one who wanted to make our choices undermine our choices, Donald Trump, who dispatched an unruly, racist, white supremacist mob upon the United States Capitol. People died because of Donald Trump's actions, yet you'll cape for him. You'll defend that while trying to paint us as dictator types, dictator lovers. You're in a cult, Michele Bachmann. I hate to be the one to break it to you. Actually, I relish being the one to break it to you that you're in a cult. High priestess in the cult of Donald Trump. It's gross. And we see you. And so do others. I mean, look, there's that 30% of the country that's never going to snap out of it. They're never going to evaporate from being considered supporters of Donald Trump. They're in it for the long haul. But the rest of us see you. The rest of the 70% of the country, or at least 60% of the country, we know you're liars. And people are waking up. They're seeing that all Donald Trump's promises are being broken, that he's only out to enrich himself. He's surrounding himself with billionaires. He's not looking out for anybody other than himself and those in his same financial position. Anyway, what do you think? I invite you to this conversation. You can comment below. You can also call the voicemail line, 714-576-4054. And of course, as always, you can email me daily@dollemore.com. Follow me on social media. I am at Dollemore just about everywhere. Not on Nazi Twitter, but everywhere else at Dollemore. And if I bring you value with these videos, if you watch my content with any regularity whatsoever and you appreciate it, please consider supporting this work. You can click the join button below, become a channel member for $2 a month. Or you can go over to patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. And for that matter, while I'm talking about it, you can also go to dollemore.com and buy some stickers or some merch, some conversation starting shirts that also are activist in nature. Fight poverty, not the poor. Poverty is a policy choice. Some great stuff there. Anyway, I love and appreciate you very much. I'll see you next time. Be genuine. Take care of one another.